What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the end of season review. Let's dive into this together. Yes, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk. As mentioned there, this is the end of the season review where we're going to reflect back on some of the bold predictions that we made at the start of the season, to say the least. We're going to look at the season in general, favourite players, moments, how Erik ten Hag has got on, loads of stuff, absolutely everything. And of course, we'll discuss some transfers as well in the window. So make sure you are smashing a like on the video and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Another thing, just to mention as well, the actual preview that we did, lads, at the start was this exact group. So it's nice to have this exact group. Yeah. And do you know how many subs we had at that time? Can you guess?
I think 580 something.
Less.
300 or 400.
We had 324 subs when we did that preview at the start of the season, by the way.
Wait, how many?
324. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So we've come a long way. It's nice to reflect sometimes. But yeah, on the season preview, lads, I asked a series of questions how we think the season would go. I don't think anyone could have predicted actually how the fucking season panned out, if we're being completely honest. So let's see what we predicted, and then we'll review this season as a whole. We'll do it like that. So the first question I asked in the season preview was, how many points would we get from our first 5 games? Can anyone remember what he said? Just a point total.
I said 11.
I think I probably said less. I definitely said less. 7.
I must have said like 9 or 10 or something.
Yeah, you're all not far off. Sam, you're actually one of the most positive ones, because we're all saying so. We can't. Yeah, we were all saying Sam. You can't let Sam be the most one in this.
Wow. Okay.
I had 8 points. Chivy had 10. Shreyas had 11, like you said, and you said 11 as well, Sam. So you and Shreyas was neck and neck with that. I think you said Brighton draw, Brentford win, Liverpool win, Southampton draw, and Leicester win.
I got Liverpool win. It was
You got 2.
Yeah, Leicester win as well. Beat Leicester, didn't we?
I got Liverpool. So.
Yeah, Shreyas, you said we would beat Brighton, Brentford, Liverpool, which obviously you got. But can I just say, right? You said we would beat Liverpool when De Jong comes. That's what you said. If we've got De Jong at that time, which is a bit of a stab in the stab in the heart, to be honest. But you said Southampton draw, and then you said we beat Leicester as well. So that was another one you got. Chive, you said Brighton win, Brentford win, Liverpool lose, Southampton draw, and Leicester win. So I think everyone went for a Leicester win, to be honest. I think everybody got that right.
Yeah.
And I went proper pessimistic and went, fuck it, I had 8 points. I said Brighton draw, not far off. Yeah. We'd beat Brentford, lose to fucking Liverpool, but beat Southampton, draw to Leicester. So very mixed kind of overall just from the start. Obviously, the actual results was Brighton beating United, Brentford beat United, we beat Liverpool, Southampton, and Leicester, which was a total of 9 points. So in terms of point total, wasn't too far off. Right, let's move into the top 4 predictions then. Do you reckon you can guess your top 4, what you went for?
Yeah, I think I can remember mine.
I think I said
go on,
Chivy.
I think I had City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal.
No.
Oh?
No.
I think that was mine. I think that's what I said.
So, Chive, you had Liverpool or City to finish first, either way. Yeah. And then you had Spurs and Arsenal in your top 4.
Oh, right. Spurs instead of Chelsea.
Yeah, Spurs and Arsenal.
I might have said Spurs then. Did I say Liverpool? Did I say City, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea?
Yeah, exactly that. Bang on. Absolutely bang on. Shreyas, can you remember yours? You might have a bit of a fake memory with this one.
Yeah. I had a feeling it would be West Ham.
Not going well, yeah, but almost relegated. They almost got relegated.
Did win the conference though. I had City, West Ham, Spurs, and Liverpool or Chelsea, one of them.
Yeah, City, Liverpool, Spurs, West Ham. It was funny because I was watching it back before. Chivy went, what world are we fucking living in where West Ham?
It's even more.
Fucking hell.
It was like, it's not out of the realms of possibility. Like, see worse things before.
I just had a feeling at that time that they signed Skamaka, so maybe it is a very good signing and make them a better team and help them scoring more goals.
Do you know
but
what?
Definitely didn't turn out well.
You were almost right because there was a gate crasher to the top sort of 6 party. Brighton gate crashed it.
Yeah.
So
Brentford.
you just picked the wrong team really. Like if you would have said Brighton top 4 and they finished what? Did they finish 6th, 5th?
Yeah. Well, a few of
it's
them
not
finished
bad.
quite high up. To be fair, like this
Six.
kind of brings into my next point. The relegation predictions and the first manager to be sacked. Sam, can you remember yours?
Did I say Brendan Rodgers? First manager.
You said Hasselhutel for Southampton.
Yeah.
Hasan-
Who was
Hasenhüttl.
I don't know how to
Hasenhüttl.
say it.
Hasenhüttl.
Hasenhüttl. It just reminds me of the pigs out of Shrek.
Was it Scott Parker the first one to go? Was he the first one?
I'll hoof and I'll poof till
Yeah.
I blow.
Till I get some Oberhausen.
Pixie blanket, yeah. Classic.
Don't take away my schnitzel.
That's the one I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
Classic. Oh my god.
Who was the first manager to get sacked then? Parker, Scott Parker.
It was Parker. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Okay.
you say Miss Parker then?
No, was it
No,
Parker?
Scott
Oh,
Parker.
I thought you meant Miss Parker. I was like, who the
No,
fuck
Scott
is that?
Parker.
Yeah, 9-0.
Yeah.
Battered.
Yeah.
Bournemouth got battered 9-0 by Liverpool, didn't they? Can you remember the teams relegated, Sam? You
Did I say Leeds, Southampton?
Nope.
No, not say Southampton. Nottingham Forest. Did I say Nottingham Forest?
Nope.
No, I can't remember.
tell you?
what I- yeah. I can't
You
remember what I
said Bournemouth, Fulham, and Leeds. So one of them you got.
I
Leeds,
got
obviously.
Fulham very wrong, didn't I? Jesus
Well,
Christ.
all of us did. Every single one of us said
Yeah.
Fulham.
Yeah, all of us said Fulham.
All of us said Fulham. Shreyas, can you remember yours?
I said Fulham. I said Bournemouth. And Everton or Leeds.
Leeds. Your memory's insane, by the way. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I could definitely not remember that.
Sam's laughing in the chat about the West Ham shout, by the way. He's pissing himself.
At the time, I was very confident.
Yeah. You got to go for it. You got to be bold, man. You got to make your thing.
Yeah.
Can you remember what manager you said, Shreyas?
I think I said Mikel Arteta.
You did as a joke. And
Fucking hell!
well,
Shouts, man.
Chivy was laughing his head off at that as well. And then you said Brendan Rodgers, I think, after that. You
Yeah,
think Brendan
because
Rodgers
I said
I-
Brendan Rodgers.
I said that according to the chronology as to how things happen at Arsenal, now is the time that things are going to just go from worse to worse to worse, and he'll go.
Yeah. So Brendan Rodgers is yours. Chivy?
I remember saying Fulham. I don't remember anyone else.
Bournemouth and Forest. Do you remember the manager that you picked?
No.
Mark?
You guys should know me by now that when it gets to relegation, anything, I'm absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
I did actually have as a note when I asked you, you was like,
I don't
just
care.
like, yeah, basically, I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck, basically, next to it.
Yeah.
But you said Marco Silva was the manager, you said.
That's the Fulham guy.
Yeah.
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 Ah, right.
He got mad. He was in manager of the season contention, so that
I
didn't
know,
go
He
well.
no.
was.
No one was back in Fulham, though. Everybody had that. I
Yeah,
had
no one was.
Bournemouth, Fulham, and Forest to go down. And I had Hasselhutel as well. I'll hoof and I'll poof.
I'll hoof and I'll puff and I will walk away quietly because I've been sacked.
I've been sacked. Of course, the actual results: Leeds, Leicester, Southampton went down, as we've already touched on. Scott Parker, 9-0, got sacked. Top scorer. Who did you predict, Sam? Top scorer.
Did I say Kane?
Nope.
No. Did I say Haaland? Because I don't
Yeah.
think I would. Did I really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got that spot on then, didn't
Yeah, Erling Haaland. Shreyas.
I? Oh yeah. There we go.
Heung-min Son.
That went well. That went
Did
really
he-
well.
But
Did
he
Yeah.
won joint scoring
Yeah.
with Salah the previous
the
year,
last
didn't
season
Yeah.
was
How many
top
goals
two
did he
with
get,
Salah.
Son? How many goals did he get?
20 this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
Same
look
as
that up
Sancho,
for you
I guess.
right now.
I'll be surprised if he got double digits. this
Because I
season.
remember getting a hat trick against Leicester in the second half. That's all I remember
Yeah.
him scoring. But he scored
I think he
10
got-
goals actually.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
10. Okay.
So it's not too
Yeah.
bad. 10 goals, 6 assists in the thing. Excuse me. Chivy, remember yours?
Did I go Salah?
You did. He did. Everyone's got great. I don't know how you guys are remembering this. I'm fucking.
That was a complete guess.
Was it? Oh, fair enough. At least you're honest. I went with Harry Kane, but Erling Haaland.
Kane not far away. Like, he got 20.
No, in a shit Tottenham team as well, to be honest. And it's a bit of a banker in it with Harry. Same thing with Salah as well. It was bound to be one of them. Now, this is where it gets interesting. It gets even more interesting in the next couple of ones. Is some absolute fucking shockers in here. All right. Top assists. Again, this was just a note to the side as well. This is where Chivy was one of them, like,
I don't give a shit.
Don't care, yeah. But you give an answer nonetheless. So, Sam, who did you say would get the most assists this season?
Oh, Jesus Christ. De Bruyne? Did I say De Bruyne? No. I can't remember who I picked them.
You said Sterling.
Did I really? Yeah. Fucking hell.
Raheem Sterling. Strayaz?
I think I said Sancho.
You did. Jadon Sancho, yeah.
Jesus Christ, how do you remember this shit, man?
These are poor picks.
even I'm like slightly forgetting, and I watched the show about fucking 2 hours ago. It's a good job of written notes. Chivy?
I can't guess who. Bruno?
You went for an enemy.
Oh, you went for a Scouser.
Odegaard?
No.
You won't pick an Arsenal player. You won't pick an
Liverpool player.
You won't pick an Arsenal player.
No idea. Did I go for Salah again?
Trent.
Trent. Yes.
Yeah. Trent. And I think I said De Bruyne, Kevin De Bruyne, and
no,
Kevin De Bruyne.
That's not a bad. That's all right.
Yeah.
It's like the obvious one. Kane and De Bruyne is like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Didn't Trent get most assists that season?
That's why I think obviously it's the end of the season. You're looking back and what people have done. You kind of basing it on that. Yeah.
Go on.
Golden Glove.
Nobody picked De Gea, did they? Did Shireyas pick him?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shireyas picked De Gea.
Oh my god.
Bang on. He was like, not a fucking chance, mate. Not a chance. You get him. But he was the only one who believed. The only one.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Did I pick Edison?
Yeah, you picked Edison.
Okay.
And so did Chivy. Chivy, you picked Edison as well. Well, I had, do you want to hear mine?
Oh, no.
I had Lloris.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's not a bad shout.
It was Conte at Conte start of the season, defensive sound, like, oh my God.
Shout.
Yeah, but then they ended up conceding like the most goals, I think, or one of the most goals. So yeah, David De Gea won that. Top scorer for United. This is one of the worst ones of mine. One of the worst ones. You all had the same answer.
Did we all say Ronaldo?
Yep. Yeah. Every single one of you said Ronaldo. If Ronaldo stays was the premise before you. For every single one of you said, if Ronaldo stays, it'll be Ronaldo.
Oh shit! So Ronaldo was this season.
Yeah, he left in just before the World Cup. World Cup, didn't he? Kicked off. That's when he gave it.
Crazy, that, isn't it? How mad is that?
It feels like a world away.
I know. It's only last year. It's crazy.
Just
we was discussing
and everything is
in that same show. We was discussing the midfielders. Like, we're actually going to start the season with McFred. What the fuck is going on? Like, how insane is this?
Before Casemiro, wasn't it? It was before Casemiro.
And Antony. Before Casemiro and Antony.
Because
so
it was
like
Casemiro after
Leach was there.
Leach was there. Okay.
Leach was there. Yeah.
So it was absolutely mad. Absolutely mad.
Shah Sam says, "I'm gonna watch that show back. It was pure comedy."
A lot of things changed since then. A lot of things have changed. Yeah. Right. So you all said Ronaldo. Do you want to guess who I said? Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Top United scorer. Top scorer for United.
You didn't say Sancho, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, no.
I see.
That is such a bad... You know what? Because you all said Ronaldo. I actually said on the show, wait, you know what? I'm going to go curveball. I'll go with Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
No.
Awful.
You know what? It probably looked good because he scored against Liverpool and you think, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
And then it all fell back.
Pre-season. Yeah, he had pre-season.
No, but in the Liverpool game in Old Trafford, when we beat him, he scored.
The Liverpool game. Yeah.
He scored against...
This is before then.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But like afterwards, like he scored, so Nick must have been thinking, I'm spot on it. And it just...
And Leicester as well.
Scored against Liverpool, scored against Leicester.
Yeah. I might be on here.
Yeah, and it went to shit then.
Yeah, nice one, Jadon. So obviously top scorer Marcus Rashford. Surprise youngster to break through. This might break your heart a little bit, Chivy.
Yeah, I know.
You remember?
Go on, Chivy. Who did you pick? Chivy?
Jimmy Garner, man.
Yeah, James
Oh.
Garner.
My
I could
heart,
see like midfield. I could see breaking in there.
my heart is still broken, man.
How long after that
Yeah.
did he get sold? Did he get sold shortly
got-
after?
I don't even think he
Uh,
played. He got sold before.
Wait, January?
Yeah, he didn't play.
Was it in
Yeah,
January
I
he
don't
got
think
sold?
I thought he got sold in January, wasn't it?
Was it
No, he started the summer window itself.
Start of the season.
Was
Yeah,
it?
at the start of the season. Yeah.
Because we had to
Oh,
sell for some reason. We had to.
We had
sell.
to sell for some reason, and
We have to
we
sell
were
something.
thinking about we have just had McTominay as a CDM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we sold him. I quickly went to his like Instagram, and then it was just black. Like he'd removed his picture, just black. And I was just like, man, I feel you, man.
Oh,
Oh, no.
James Garner.
Did I say Garnacho?
He did say Garnacho.
Come on!
Of course he did. Shreyas with another
Shreyas,
wonderful.
Did he pick Palestre?
Hannibal.
He didn't because he said
No.
Palestre, in fairness, will go out on loan. So
Right,
he's not
okay.
going to Palestre.
Yeah,
so he went with.
Hannibal?
Nope.
No.
What's his name? The Norwegian kid.
Nope. But
No,
you
no,
mentioned him as a shout, as a potential shout.
Yeah.
Aronson.
Oh yeah.
It was- yeah.
Hansen
Zidane?
Aaron.
Did you say Zidane?
Zidane,
Yes.
Zidane Iqbal.
Yeah.
Yes, Zidane Iqbal. Yeah, that's he said. Iqbal, or you would have gone for Palestre in fairness.
To be fair,
Yeah.
Zidane was playing in pre-season, wasn't he? He had like quite. So you
And he
That's
played
it.
better than McTominay and Fred.
yeah. So.
This is why it's mad looking back on certain things. You're like, wow, what the fuck? So much has changed since the start
Who
of that
did you say,
season. It's
Nick?
unbelievable. I said Ahmad.
Ahmad.
I think Ahmad would have a great
He
season.
went on loan. He did have a good season, to be fair.
Yeah,
he did.
just not.
Just not at United.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Coming to the last question for last season or the season preview. Yeah, season preview. Got that right. Where will we finish and will we win a trophy? What did you say?
I said fifth.
I said.
Fifth and no trophy. I don't. No.
No, you said
Did I say
sixth.
Oh, I say sixth.
Sixth. Yeah,
Okay.
and no trophy.
Yeah. Okay.
He said. Yeah. Shreyas?
I said fifth, I guess.
Yeah.
And I said one trophy.
Nope, we said no trophies. Fifth and no trophy. Chive? We believe, brother. We believe.
Did Chivy say top four?
No, he didn't say top four.
No.
I said fifth. I must have said fifth.
Sixth, he said.
I said sixth with a trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sixth with a trophy. I think you said Europa League.
Europa
as well.
League, yeah.
Yeah.
You got,
yeah.
You're not halfway there. It's not too bad.
And here's my moment. I said top four, and a trophy. I believed from the
Okay,
start.
nice.
Believe
Oh,
in
you
Eric
said?
Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
In the
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
Believe in the process. I've clawed my way back after the Lloris and Sancho. Right, this brings it to where we actually review the season and what's gone on. So what I want to do is I want to start with the new signings. How would you assess the first season at United? Lisandro, Casemiro, Malacia, or Ericsson, Anthony? How would you assess their first season? Dive into whatever player you want, whatever individual you want to talk about.
Okay. I think Lisandro was fantastic signing. I think out of all the signings we made, him and Casemiro were the best signings. I think Lisandro brought in a lot of stability to that back line, that aggressiveness, and even that mentality within games that he was able to build chemistry along with the players, and he was able to keep that entire back line motivated. And for a defender to come in after we pretty much had a worse seasons even defensively, the way he's performed is absolutely incredible. I think Casemiro was, a very crucial signing as well, because he just completes our midfield, and by far he is one of the best defensive midfielders in the world, and he brought it in a United side that was struggling when he did actually come in. I think it was after the 4-0 defeat to Brentford that he was rumored and he was signed. So he's been scoring goals as well of a lot of set pieces. He's been creating goals as well. His bicycle kickoff in Bournemouth game as well, and he scored in the Newcastle Carabao Cup final as well. So Casemiro has been a very good signing. I think Malacia has been great as well for the role that he's been signed for as a deputy to Luke Shaw, that left-hand side. I think he's a different profile to Luke Shaw, and his aggressiveness in certain games has actually helped us out a lot. Like in the Man City game at Old Trafford, against Liverpool at Old Trafford as well, he turned up in those big games. That leaves me with Eriksen. I think if we had signed Eriksen for 25 or 30 million, I would have said that it's not been that great of a signing, but we signed him on a free transfer. He came in, I think he got 8 to 9 assists in the league as well.
Mhm.
So if you just look at it of stats, Eriksen has had a decent season, but there are certain faults to his game that I would say in the later stages of the season, they were quite visible on the pitch as well. And when we played, in the brief time that we played Marcel Sabitzer in place of him, we were able to see that that physicality factor is going to come in very key in this midfield. And I think Eriksen has had a half decent season, I would say. One of the things that definitely, but it has been that when he's not been on the pitch, his him not being on the pitch has been very relevant. And Ten Hag, the way he played, he was very fundamental to the way he played. Like Fred could not do that job, McTominay could not do that job, or any midfielder. He picked Eriksen because he knew the creativity and vision of a pass that Eriksen has. No one had that in our team when the season started. And I think for the first couple of months or 3 months, he was one of the most consistent and best players that we had on the pitch as well.
Yeah.
I think Anthony, considering he had to adapt to the league, he joined in pretty late. It was a tough season, but I think he did adapt. And in the later stages of the season, once again, he was just really frustrating at times. Like honestly, he was really, really frustrating. Like you could see him that he could make the pass to Martial or to Rashford or to Bruno, but he, for some reason, whenever he was around the box, all he did was shoot. So I think next season he works on it. Once again, he's one of Ten Hag's signings. He's someone who he's worked with at Ajax as well, so he knows how to get the best out of him, and hopefully he can cultivate in that game. But considering we signed him for 80 million, I think once again he's a half signing for me.
That's it. I think that's a very fair assessment, to be fair. Most of the stuff you said, I completely agree with. Sam, you've fallen in love with Lisandro like myself. He's had an all right first season, hasn't he?
I think of the signings we've made in the summer, he's the only one I can truly say was probably flawless this season. Like I can remember I think there was one game, wasn't there, where he looked a bit off it, didn't he? And he looked a bit rusty.
Yeah, I can't remember. What game was that?
Villa.
Was it Villa?
Villa? Yeah.
He looked a little bit off the pace there. His passes went astray. He wasn't quite up to it. But for most of the season, I thought he was absolutely flawless. I didn't see a single hole in his game. His passes fantastic. How press resistant this kid is unbelievable. Like you see him get the ball, and like normally when we get the ball back from the goalkeeper, we panic because we're used to Maguire and Lindelof. We used to just get impressed, and Lisandro gets the ball, and he literally just goes twist, and he's fucking gone. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch, and some of the passing
for centre back.
Some of the passing is absolutely ridiculous. Like great passing, especially diagonals out to the wings and stuff. I thought he's been a leader. He's been a warrior. Like I've put on the thumbnail is him bandaged up. Remember when he got
Arsenal game?
Arsenal.
Very good performance.
Got elbowed in the head, was bleeding. Was like, nah. Yeah. And it was like, just wrap it up, fuck it, I'm going to carry on. Like, that's who he is. And I was like, I love that shit about him. He's my favourite player this season in terms of players that I attach myself to. Like, he was up there. So I think he was, in terms of those signings, he's the best one. Casemiro, you can see the quality in him. He's absolutely fantastic. He's like the best defensive midfielder in the world, or one of. However, the suspensions and the yellow cards and the red cards, I think, got into him mentally. And you saw dips in his game, and you saw little off moments. His passes would go astray. He'd do stupid crunching tackles that would cost us and stuff like. There was stuff going on, so I think mentally it sort of affected him. Because previous to that, I don't think he had a single red card in his career, did he? In Madrid,
not even one.
Yeah, so I think that got into his head and it sort of affected him. So you saw a little bit of a drop off, and when Casemiro's off it, our midfield just gets cut through like it's not even there. It's insane. So I think, for most of the season, he was good. There was odd moments. Eriksen, again, first half of the season, I thought was one of our better players. Great assists. Some of the free kicks, set pieces were great. Some of the passes he saw were amazing. And we were sorely missing that from our midfield because McFred can't do those sort of passes. Like, they're not capable of it. And he can do that. And I just thought he was really good. But then had the injury with Andy Carroll in the Reading game.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, Andy Carroll.
Been out.
Jesus.
And then since he's come back, he's looked leggy. He's looked like he's lacking fitness. He looked like he's lacking fight. He gets pushed off the ball too easily. His physicality is not there. He's he's not great, especially in games against like he gets exposed in games against like Man City or Liverpool, places like people like that where you get pressed the life out. You just can't deal with it. I think you see the best of him. Like you saw him against when he came in for Sabitzer against Forest, where you've got a lot of the ball, so much possession. He was one of the man of the match, wasn't he, when he came in against Forest? And we didn't think he was ready, and he absolutely smashed it. That's where he's good. So I think that's the two half of his game. I think Anthony, you got to be a little more forgiving. It's his first season in the league. Wingers are always a little bit inconsistent. He's had good, really big moments. He stepped up to the plate in Barcelona game, for example. Like he stepped up quite a few times. However, super frustrating. Needs to learn that he's got a right foot and offer something different when he's on the thing, because every single fullback knows he's cutting in on his left and he's pinging it. That's what he's doing. So if he can add a couple of tricks to him and make defenders think twice, that left foot then will become more effective, because they might think, oh, he might go right here and put a ball in. And he needs to get his head up and have a look who's in the box, because there's always a more easier, simpler pass that could make a goal a lot easier than him trying to bend it top corner. So I think there's improvements to be made, but I think Ten Hag knows him and will get the best out of him. Malacia, I think, has been a fantastic backup. He took Luke Shaw's place at the beginning of the season, played really, really well. Aggressive, tenacious, got a cross on him, gets forward. Fell off a little bit. Shaw took his place back, and then since then, Shaw's just had hold of that place, hasn't he? He's not let it go. Shaw's been phenomenal, and I think Malacia, Malacia's been good when he's come in, when he's asked to come in. I thought he did well in the...
Against Salah, I think, as well. In Liverpool, against Salah.
Fulham, FA Cup game, I thought he did really, really well. I thought he was great there. So I thought he had really good moments. Great second choice thing, and he's always there. Like if Shaw has a dip, bring him in and stuff. So I think that's a really good competition, healthy competition in that place. So yeah, that would be my summation of the signings. I think there's more to come from Anthony. Hopefully Casemiro will get his mentality right. Leach is just going to carry on being my favourite player, and hopefully Malacia gets better, because he's still young as well. He's what is he, like 22, 23? So he's still young. So.
Yeah, 100% agree with that as well. Spot on. Chivet, Anthony was someone who you was talking about when obviously we heard about who was going to sign him. Has he lived up to expectations for you?
No.
Okay, why?
Elaborate. Expand, Chivy.
I wanted to give a Ten Hag answer. That was
clear.
No.
Do you remember who was the one with the injury when he went, oh, what sort of injuries? And he just went, it's like,
yeah.
He was just,
you want to expand on that?
He was just like, no. So he's like, next question.
No, I think it was ill or something.
Yeah, it was just so funny. He's just like, do you want, what's up with it? He's just like, next question.
Yeah. Well, what's a player like Ronaldo going to bring to this team?
Yeah.
Goals.
Next question.
it just makes it awkward, yeah. But Anthony, I was one of those people that was really, really pushing for Anthony, because I watched when Ajax played Dortmund in the Champions League, both legs, and he was just running everyone ragged, and he was fantastic. And then he got injured and then missed the rest of the Champions League. But I mean, he so it's one of them ones where I caught him on a really good day, and I could just see some of the qualities that he had was really raw, and I thought that was the kind of, and I thought he'd be a perfect fit for the Prem. He probably will be, but at the moment I think that was a very underwhelming sort of performance from just general performance from him. I thought he'd be a little bit more creative, especially because he's a right winger, so I'm guessing he would have some use of his right foot, if anything, but he was just so left-footed. One of my biggest criticisms of him was not lifting his head when he's running. Yeah. Because there was, and then when he does lift his head, he's missed the opportunity, so he's always making the wrong decision. There's so many, so many scenarios that I could go regarding that. So it was underwhelming from an attacking point of view, but defensively he did really, really well in terms of his work rate with the team. He was Anthony constant. Like Marcus Rashford never tracks back. Like even if he does, Rashford, Jadon, Martial, they're like guilty of that. Anthony's constantly, making last-ditch tackles, forcing the ball out for a corner. And then he's feisty as well. I know that's not £80 million quality, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of underwhelming. But like Sam said earlier on, it's his first season. Coming into this team, like the toxic environment, having the manager that we have now being his first time as well. So yes, I expected a lot, but I understand if he didn't live up to expectation. I think there's still time if he manages to escape certain allegations.
Yeah.
But apart from that, yeah, it was kind of underwhelming, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, very roller coaster like one in terms of his form. Would hit points and then drop off in big games as well. And obviously you kind of mirror what everybody else said about Casemiro, Lisandro, Eriksen, Malacia, these kind of guys. Happy with their progress, but there is flaws in like Eriksen's game, for example.
Yeah, it's really difficult to sort of. I mean, come on. Why are we talking like we're spoiled here? This is the best transfer season window we've had in years. Like, all of a sudden we have standards. Like,
yeah, it's true.
It's true. We've had terrible transfer seasons. So I think for what we got, we've done really well. However, Eriksen was knackered at the end of the season.
Yeah.
The head wanted to do a lot of things, but the legs just didn't answer. Like, you could just tell. He was hanging. He was absolutely hanging. Of course, coming off, his cardio problems, the injury problems. I understand the amount of games that we played, and Ten Hag obviously doesn't trust his bench as much as we would expect him to. So he overplayed a lot of players with Rashford, with Bruno, who's happy to play all the time. So I understand Eriksen's dip in form. I also understand we've talked about Casemiro's dip as well. We feel it was quite mental because of because it kind of just happened shortly after he got the suspensions. The form dipped, so it probably was a mental thing. I don't know. I'm just happy that he came back clutch for us in the big games. We needed a goal against Bournemouth, and he delivered. There were two other games, he scores important goals for us, so that's great. I don't need to talk about Lisandro, and I mean, there's so much.
Phenomenal.
I really don't need to talk about that. Like, if and I'm really happy with the way everything turned out, especially with all the criticism that he experienced when he first came. Everyone, all the managers. Oh, he's 5'9". And then Ben Mee scores that header, which had nothing to do with his height.
I know.
Just leaned on him, and then it's like, aha! I told you.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people that I love the way he's shut everyone up. Can you just imagine if he went to Arsenal? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Saliba and
Lisandro.
Jesus Christ, like.
Woo.
Yeah, so just there's no point. I mean, Lisandro probably needs his own show for me to go into that, but just to save us the time, I think we've done really well. Malacia, who was the other one?
Eriksen, Casemiro, Sandro.
I'm very, very, very happy with the outcome at the end of the day. Me and Sam kind of went back and forth on this yesterday, and I'm very happy with the outcome because, like, imagine if we got like Rabiot and Arnautovic and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm happy with the way it happened, and
even arguably De Jong in that sense. You lot know I'm a mega fan of De Jong, but Casemiro arguably was much more important in that midfield than De Jong ever would have been.
One more thing I'll add is the players that we had. I love the mental resilience that they brought to the team, because I don't think Julian Timber and De Jong would have had that sort of resilience. When we first saw this was the Liverpool win. All of a sudden, like, it was like I could see like Varane literally has like a new lease of life with Lisandro next to him, and you could see like everyone Casemiro wasn't in the team then, but just that
togetherness,
that hunger, that togetherness, that fight, like all of a sudden. And Ten Hag talks about this a lot in terms of players. Like, he likes to bring people with character in there, and that's key. We had even Malacia. Like, Malacia he's not the best, but he doesn't care who you are. Like, he would. Because like Saka skinned him, and he kept going. So I won't go on any much longer. But happy with the signings, man.
No, you all made absolutely bang on assessments there. Brian saying, for me, Casemiro was the signing of the season. All of Ten Hag's signings have been decent, but the drop-off when Casemiro isn't in the team is crazy. A completely different team without him. He only left 6 months ago. It was 6 months ago. Who was that? Who was into there?
Ronaldo.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, it's confusing me. Yeah, just as a team and in general, we'll talk about individuals. What clear signs of progress have you seen from Ollie's season last year to this season now? What do you think's improved? Like Chivi, you mentioned there, the mental resilience, toughness, togetherness. Are they things that you think we've most improved on? Have you seen things on the pitch where you're like, that's completely different? What do we think?
I think
mentality.
Yeah. Go on, Chivi.
No, it's a different mentality now, both on the pitch, among the players and the fans as well. Like it's now we, there's a bit more. I mean, apart from when we were kind of tired, when the players were really tired. I mean, now we expect wins, and we actually get those wins, or we expect results. Let me not say wins, but we're playing this pattern of play. It's a whole different feeling now at the club. Even though we've come second twice, we came second under Jose, came second under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but it never looked like we were onto anything. It was just kind of like, we don't know what's going to happen the season, the next season. Like, this is the first time, I think, with the way we're playing and the way the team is set up, and we finally have a manager who kind of has a vision of how he wants to play and the sort of player we need. I think that's kind of changed.
Yeah, I think there's definitely evidence on the pitch. Like you saw with Ollie, it was the 11 that was on the pitch, and if they didn't do it, he had no plan B. Like his substitutes did not affect the game. He made them too late, didn't give enough time to impact the game. Like for example, we spoke about it so often.
He went like for like.
Yeah, like we spoke so often. Oh, that he brings Donny on at 85th minute, and it's just like, what does that do? That does absolutely nothing. Like it does nothing to affect the game. And then people are getting on Donny's back saying, "Oh, he's not changing." It's like, what is he supposed to do in 5 minutes? Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So Ollie never made a tweak to the tactical or the change or anything like that.
Weird though as well, Sam, on it, because he was a super sub himself. Yeah, so it was just like.
And then you see with Ten Hag, if things are not working, he's not afraid to pull people like off the pitch at half time if he needs to. Like he's like, right, if this is not working, he'll make changes. You saw, I know, even though we lost in the FA Cup final, but it's the most recent game. We were tiring in that second half. We were on top like the beginning of the second half, and we started to tire. And Paul, don't drop them. Don't decide, oh, we need to drop him because he's not playing well enough to be in the team. They carry on, and then they'll just let him play on in the team and not bother to even go, no, you need time out of the team. You're not playing well enough. He did it with Luke Shaw this season, dropped him, put Malacia in. He did it with I'm trying to think. Casemiro didn't get in the team because McTominay was playing well enough. As soon as McTominay had a drop out of the team, Casemiro coming. These are the decisions you need to make as a manager. You need to be ruthless and be able to make changes that affect the game. And I think that's what he does, which is very different to the way Ollie styled it.
Yeah. Apologies to everyone. The stream crashed slightly a little bit then for like 10 seconds, but I think we're back now. I'm looking at the stream and we're okay. But I heard absolutely everything you said, Sam. Hopefully the viewers did as well. Strayaz, the thing is as well that I wanted to kind of point out was the fact that it's a completely different spine as well, innit? Under Ole, we had Maguire, McFred, Bruno, Ronaldo. The players that Ten Hag's brought in and the spine is kind of, put into the team. Makes it a world of difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. And, we were able to see that, these were the sort of players who were a big issue in this team. They weren't performing well on the pitch and they weren't really working. You couldn't really see any signs that, there are any signs of improvement in them. And Ten Hag was able to visualize that. And he knew that, he has to put certain players out of the team. He has to put Maguire on the bench. He has to, move apart from that Magaloff and McFred partnership for this team to actually progress further and make any, leaps into a trophy or top 4. And I think he brought in a very good discipline into this team. Like, we saw last season, everyone was just doing whatever they wanted on the pitch or, even off the pitch. This season, he brought in really good discipline. Like, if players were not on time, he didn't hesitate in dropping them. Like, I remember Marcus Rashford was late to a meeting in one game and he dropped him for the first half during Wolves. Yeah. So, he's brought in discipline. He's brought in versatility and he's been able to actually, get these players out of their comfort zones in a way which has actually helped them. Like we've seen Marcus Rashford pretty much play in every single position on the attack, whether it's a left wing or right wing or a striker. Bruno has been immense. He's been playing as a number 6, as a number 8, as a number 10, as a winger. Luke Shaw, like we mentioned before, he's been playing as a centre back and left back, and honestly, he's been playing, as one of the best players in the league this season, if you actually look into it. And except that as well, the way this team started to respond on the pitch, like in certain teams you can see that at times you don't need quality to actually compete with teams. It sometimes, if you're just you have that togetherness on the pitch, you can just go through certain games, and you could see that with this team in a lot of those fixtures. So I think that is definitely something that we were missing in United for the past season, and Ten Hag brought it, and he was able to implement it with the players that he got really well.
Yeah, and I think it shows just even in the points average and the trophies. We've obviously won a trophy, but we finished on 75 points, and last season we finished with 58. So there's obviously even statistical improvement there that you can see. What players are struggled, do you think, this season? What players you identify, whether they've come on as a sub, whether they've been first teamers at points? We've already discussed someone like Christian Eriksen, who I won't classify as struggled.
I think he's just knackered, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just tired. He's got his own faults, but he's still an important player in his own right. Who's struggled this season?
Well, you can see it by the people who are not playing. Maguire is clearly, he played him for the first 2 games, realised he isn't going to fit in this system, isn't good enough for the way he wants to play, and he basically hasn't played since. He's played the odd cup game, come on in the last 5-10 minutes. It doesn't fit. He's not going to work in Ten Hag's system, and you can see that. McTominay was important for the first bit of the season, and then once Casemiro came in, I think he realised that McTominay is not good enough. Like he can't be up to standard. So he's not played since. Like I know he's had an injury, but he's not played really either. So there's 2 players. I think he's not convinced on David De Gea, but he's just got no other option than other than playing because it's Tom Heaton or Jack Butland. They were the other options. So it's like De Gea was the best of the situation that he had. So I think he was just like, look, I'm going to have to play him. And he probably will have to play him next season unless we go and get a goalkeeper because I don't think he's fit for his system. Like we've said it time and time again, his distribution, his command of his area. And now he's making major, major mistakes. So even the shot stopping is not good enough. So I think he that's a clear sore point that he needs to sort out. But I don't think it's done this summer. I think there's other options where he needs to sort it out. I think Wan-Bissaka is the one. He probably thought, he's not good enough, he's not going to work, and he's proved him wrong. He's come back and gone, nah, man, I'm not having this. Because he played virtually no football until January, didn't he? Played no football.
Yeah.
Dalot played every single game, no matter what, rain or shine. And Dalot was playing well, so you can't blame him because Dalot was playing fantastic.
He even played Malacia.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
As a right back once.
Won it.
Yeah.
So
and Willian absolutely bodied him.
Yeah. So you sit there and you're like, we were saying, weren't we, in January, Wan-Bissaka's gone. It's done. He's not playing. We need to sell him. Just get rid of him. And since he's come, he has been phenomenal. He has been absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, it helps that Dalot was injured and he had to play him. But since then, he's been fantastic. I think arguably, had he played the full season since August, the way he's been playing since January, arguably could have been in with a shout for player of the season because I thought he's been that good. He's been phenomenal. And I think he's proved Ten Hag wrong on his opinion of him. So I think you might see the further evolution of Wan-Bissaka next season because I think we have to keep them too because I think there's more important places to go sign. And I think they're more than good enough to play right back for us next season. So I think he's the one that's proved them wrong. So I don't think it's out of any players' realm of possibility that they can prove him wrong, but certain players haven't. And I think you'll see certain players go this season and you'll see the rest of them probably go next season as well.
Interesting.
I mean, we also had players like, I know Jadon Sancho got a few goals, but he struggled.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sancho struggled. Martial struggled, even though he was like this. Was he the second highest goal scorer?
Bruno, I think was second.
Bruno was, yeah.
Yeah, but something like that, yeah. So Jadon and Martial, like if they survive the summer, this is literally their last chance, and they probably will survive just based on wage just because we can't ship them because of the wages they're on. That's probably one of the reasons why we would have to keep them at the moment. But those two players struggled. I know Rashford struggled towards the end, but just like the rest of them, we overplayed him. We definitely overplayed Rashford. Played him through injury. Played him through. It's a lot for a player like that. To play different positions. He's literally, and that guy carried us like the whole season, literally. So I know he struggled towards the end of the season, but we can understand that, and there's a lot to look forward to Marcus Rashford. I saw a different Rashford. The goal against Aston Villa in the FA Cup, that was a typical number 9 goal.
Yeah.
Where he shields. Probably my best Rashford goal this season, where he shields the ball. I'm like, look at this guy. Like, he's using his body against Tyrone Mings. And then, oh man, what a goal.
He did it against, do you remember in Wolves when he came on and scored? The guy tried to, and he shoved him off. Like, he physically just went, get out of my fucking way, and cut in and just shot. And you're like, I've never seen Rashford do that before in my life.
Yeah.
Where's this come from?
Yeah, he used his head a few times as well.
Yeah.
Got a few headed goals.
Yeah.
But Sancho, Martial, McTominay is a bit harsh because I think he's just McTominay. I don't think he was anything worse than what he is, or better than he's just McTominay, basically. But I don't know if that makes any sense.
No. He gets what if you're going to buy a tub of paint from B&M Bargains, it's only going to be a certain quality. It's just what you get in it.
It's McTominay. So
it's McTominay paint. That's what it is.
Literally, yeah. There's someone else.
Vegas definitely struggled.
He's alone though. He was alone.
I wouldn't count that. Like Vegas and Sabitzer, like they're alone, so I wouldn't really count that. But them two.
Tony struggled.
Yeah, well, true.
He barely played, but
struggled to get on the pitch more than actually struggled.
Struggled to get on the pitch, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, with all that in mind, then this is the bit I'm most looking forward to. This is the awards that we're gonna do, right? So we're gonna do most improved player, goal of the season, personality of the year, player of the season, favorite moment, worst moment, and Ten Hag season out of 10. Right.
Okay.
So most improved player.
Wan-Bissaka, isn't it?
Wan-Bissaka.
Has to be.
Over Rashford?
Yes.
Yeah. Because
really?
Rashford has had that season before
we've
the
seen that,
COVID. We've seen that.
Yeah, but we're going off last season, like most improved player from last season.
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka has stepped up. Like he is.
Okay.
Rashford close, definitely.
Yeah, Rashford's been good.
Yeah,
because Rashford was literally. Let's not forget. I remember saying, "Yo, if PSG roll up with 60 M's."
Not me.
I said that. I was like, if PSG come in with 60 million,
I remember.
Take this man, like please take him.
I remember you saying, to be fair, I'm shocked.
Yeah,
everybody in the chat saying Wan-Bissaka as well, most improved. Brian Casey, Shah-Sam.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Shreyas,
I like it.
What are you saying?
For me, definitely Wan-Bissaka, but just to go with a different player, I would say Luke Shaw.
Oh, good shout.
I think he's been fantastic, but I think he's had that ability all along. He's just not been consistent because we saw it before the Euros and then during the Euros. We saw how good this guy is. Yeah. Like we know he's good. He's just not been consistent.
Highly rated.
Yeah. He's not been consistent. He's not been consistent enough. Whereas now he's been consistent the entire season. Wan-Bissaka was dead and fucking gone.
Dead man walking.
Yeah.
That was
interesting. So, are you going with Luke Shaw, Shreyas, or are you going to go with?
Just to go with someone different, I would go Luke Shaw.
Okay, I'll go with Marcus Rashford because last season he was our worst player of the season, and this season he's carried us and been our top goal scorer and scored 40% of our goals. So I would go with Marcus. Personality of the year should be an interesting one. Lissandro for me, straight off the bat.
Lissandro, man. I love that guy more than I love like some members of my family. No offense, Nick.
Thanks.
I love everything about. I love his warrior spirit. I love his fight. I love that he gets stuck in. I love the first game against Liverpool. He bodies Mohamed Salah. I was just like, fucking yes. That's what I want for fucking United players. Guy who does not give a shit.
Did you see the look on Salah's face?
He's shitting his pants. It's like, oh my god.
He did it with Jesus as well. In the Arsenal team, he did it with Jesus. The look on his face.
Who was it? Was it Mason Mount? When we played,
he shoved him, didn't it? He shoved him over, didn't he?
Yeah, somebody tried to face up to him, and he kind of just like
I think it was Jorginho.
I think he did both. I think he did.
Jorginho
did
Jorginho
both.
came over and he shoved him, and then Mason
He was
Mount
wearing
came
blue.
over and he was
He
like,
was a-
"Yeah, fuck off."
Yeah. Like, what are you going to say?
That's going to be an awkward conversation in the dressing room, innit? When he arrives.
That's
You
the
alright,
thing,
mate?
though. Lissandro's like, Lissandro, if you're either with me or against me. That's Lissandro.
Yeah.
So if he's on your team, he's gonna back you up to the fullest. If you're on the opposite team, he will murder you. That's
That was
just-
so heartbreaking, wasn't it? When he went down in that fucking game, man.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
so
like,
glad.
No,
I'm so glad
God.
though it's not an Achilles, because I was so worried that it looked like an Achilles injury. If it's an Achilles injury, you're out for a year minimum.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that he's going to be ready for preseason and he's going to be all fine, because
He's going to be back.
Yeah.
I
I'd
love
love
that
it
guy.
if Mason Mount comes in the dressing room and Lissandro takes him to the corner and be like, yo, that shit you pulled last season. Pull that shit in training.
I will kill you.
Grabbing him by his ear like that. Oh.
Yeah.
So is everyone going with Lissandro? Is that like
Have
a thing?
to. Have to.
That's
Yeah,
it's a rhetorical
Sounds about
question.
it.
That's
Yeah.
a rhetorical question.
Lissandro.
He's so good. So
He's
good player.
the fan favourite for sure. Goal of the season.
Ooh.
For me,
We go goal as per the environment that we put it in, or just on the basis of the goal.
Oh,
that
it's
we
just
scored?
your favourite goal, what you loved.
Fulham, Garnacho.
That was
Nice.
a good one.
I-
That was a
I
good
went-
one.
I went mad. Like, I ran downstairs. I went mad. Yeah. Because it
Just
was
for
such
the World Cup as well.
it was a dead game.
Yeah.
We'd lost
Yeah.
to Villa. Like, it was just like it was the game was just dead. Fulham were on our backs. And I was just like, and at that point it's like, where is the goal coming from? Like, from where?
Yeah.
And I think that was his debut, wasn't it? Debut
Yeah,
goal.
yeah.
That was his-
Yeah.
And it literally just he chased it and the ball rolled. I just went mad.
Yeah.
I have to go with the Casemiro equaliser against Chelsea. That was
like that.
so
Yeah.
class.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just, I
Celebration
was like,
as well.
we're going to lose this game to Chelsea, who have been not convincing at all this season.
Yeah.
And Casemiro heads the ball. Lissandro dives headfirst into the crowd. You just see his legs kicking in the crowd as like United fans have got all of it. And then Casemiro is screaming into a camera and the crowd just going, "Ah! Ah!" just fucking
Insane.
like losing his mind. I was just like, I think I stood up off my couch because it was Chelsea away. I stood up off my couch and I was just screaming at the TV. My girlfriend's looking at me going, what the fuck is that? I just like, I lost my shit. So for me, the feeling behind that goal was amazing.
Yeah. Both amazing shouts. Shreyas, what are you going with?
Rashford against Liverpool.
Rashford against Liverpool. Why am I forgetting that?
Yeah, the
Old
second
Trafford.
goal.
Oh, the
Second
second
goal.
one, yeah. And you can hear Neville on commentary going, yeah! Yeah. Yeah! Yeah!
Shah
Rashford
Sam
against-
saying Anthony versus Arsenal didn't give critics time to start talking. Good shout, man.
Yeah,
It's a good
and the
shout.
badge as well.
Anthony
All
versus
the
City
badges
was a
like-
great goal too. Anthony versus Man City.
Oh, Peach. It's just the disappointing thing
The
about that.
environment was just not the perfect one.
And-
Anthony
and
against
goes
Barca was great as
significance,
well.
Yeah, Barca. Anthony against
Barca,
Barca.
I was going to say Barca goal deserves a shout. It definitely deserves a shout.
I
As
love...
for the-
I know it's not significant in terms of the result, but I love the Rashford goal against Arsenal, where he just picks it up, Megs Ben White, and just drills it in the bottom left
No,
corner.
it was Partey.
Was it Partey that he megged? Yeah, even better then. Meg Partey and then drilled it.
everyone
And
up.
it was just like that at the Emirates.
Shut
And you're like, like that boy's cooking.
Even the
At the minute.
Rashford's goal against Barcelona as well at the Camp Nou.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
When he
Oh,
scored.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was a good fucking goal.
Had some, been treated to some nice ones as well. There's a few more. You've got Sancho's at Liverpool where he sent Van Dijk and Milner to the shop.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
And
Just seeing their
yeah.
ankles just going, yeah, just fucking
Yeah.
snap in half.
Love
Just,
that.
yeah,
Brilliant.
just sat them down. Like Trent was just on the corner, just watching. Like, oh.
Yeah. And then Milner, after it, Milner to Van Dijk.
Just shouting it, yeah. He was having a go at him, wasn't he? He was going, what the fuck are you doing?
Stood there like a statue, Van statue, mate.
I was like, yo.
Mental. Yeah, some great. It's nice to look back at them ones. Some
Grey 100 tuned in late. The wench dragged me shopping. Oh, fucking hell, mate. It's a bad day. It's a bad
What
day.
they saying in
Good to
the
hear.
comments? Does anyone have any goals in the
He's
comments?
saying Casemiro overhead the other week. Oh, yeah, against Brentford. That was a good
Bournemouth.
goal.
Bournemouth.
Was it?
Bournemouth.
Was
Yeah.
Bournemouth. Yeah.
Vegos for the celebration.
Cry. He gets the fourth goal against the team and he's crying.
Yeah.
Like, okay, no, man.
That was like when he did the whole Nistelrooy thing when Nistelrooy scored the penalty against Arsenal. It was like,
You know what? I was at that game at Betty's at Old Trafford, and it was, I think we were 3-1 up, and I said to my girlfriend, did he score in like 90th minute or something? Vegas. It was late, wasn't it? It was a late goal.
It was like 80th, late 80th.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, we could go now." I was like, "I'm not leaving till Vegas scores. Like, I'm staying till and then he fucking scored. I was just like, "Yeah, we could go now." It's fucking.
Let's go.
Brian Casey saying Anthony gets Barca. Yeah, great shout. Fantastic.
Great goal. And then you know what about that as well? Luke Shaw with a back heel keeping it in. Bruno shrugged someone off, like elbowed him, and then it was a couple of deflections, wasn't it? And Anthony buried it. Huge goal.
Garnacho's goal against West Ham as well. The one he called out of.
Oh, where he picked out the air, killed it dead, and then finesse in the corner.
FA Cup,
yeah.
Cold, man.
Yeah.
Fucking
what
cold.
a moment that was,
Yeah, Shah Sam as well. Dallo versus Nottingham Forest. Yeah, unbelievable. The link up was nice in that. Yeah. Right, let's move on to the next one then. Who is your player of the season?
Lissandro. Next question. I'm not going to hear a debate unless it's Luke Shaw. The only other name I want to hear is Luke Shaw. That's the only other name.
I think it's a few.
I would just say Bruno.
Bruno. Interesting.
Come on, Shreyas. That's a lazy one, man.
No. He's been decent and he's been good. He hasn't been excellent. Like, I'm not gonna have.
The reason I just said his name is because as a leader, the way he was able to integrate this team, we've seen different people do that job. We've seen when he's not been on the pitch and the impact he's had. No doubt, Lissandro's there as well. I just wanted to go with someone other than the usual names. So if you pick out Lissandro, if you pick out Luke Shaw, even if you pick out Casemiro, I would say the first in the pecking order after Rashford and these guys would be Bruno Fernandes.
I would say Casemiro is an issue because he's had dips in form and there's been moments where he's not been great. So I can't go. Luke Shaw is the only other person who's been absolutely fantastic. Leacher and Luke Shaw, that's it. They're the only two. Rashford had a dip though, didn't he? Like towards the end of the season, he dropped off.
What he did is
Rashford literally carried us to a point.
No, I agree. But for the whole season, he hasn't.
No, of course. I think consistency.
Yeah.
I think it has to be Lissandro, in my opinion. But
I'll argue. If somebody wants to argue Shaw, I'm happy to concede Shaw.
Well, I think for me, the case for Marcus Rashford for me is that the only thing we struggled with this season was goals. We had like the best defense thanks to like Lissandro. But what we struggled with was goals, and what really saved us was those goals that Marcus Rashford accumulated were like really, really important goals in the league, in the League Cups, and the FA Cups, in some of the games like
Europa League.
Yeah,
all the in the Europa League.
Yeah, all the extra. So the extra goals were the one goal against Liverpool gets us 3 points. The goal against Wolves gets us 3 points. Like that, he's always just pitching in. And even when he dropped off, we were at a point where this guy had literally carried us to that point.
Exactly.
And he dropped off. Like, if we had no one else, like if Marcus Rashford didn't turn up, bro, if he didn't turn up, it didn't matter how many times, how well we defended. We were literally just waiting for other people to score. So we could have had lots of 1-1s or 1-0 against us. But I think the goals that he scored was like super important.
And the fact is that even though he slowed down, he scored 30 goals. If he didn't, he would have gone on to I don't know how much that number could have escalated to.
Yeah. And then you look at all the people. I mean, like, okay, Kane is an exception, but 1 minute he's playing with Vegas, and then he's playing with a dead Martial or with Sancho.
Oh, he's up front himself.
But sometimes he's up front.
And he has to play, So 1 minute is like, well, there's nothing. Sancho is dead on the wing. Please go there. We'll take him off and then put Martial in the middle, who's dead in the middle. So it's like, he's playing so many roles. He played up the right wing against, where he scored that amazing. Anyway, you get the point I'm making.
Right, so that's it solved then. Chivy's going with Luke Shaw for player of the season.
Either one, man. Either one.
Who you, Nick?
Yeah.
Who you saying?
I want Chivy's answer first. I want to see who he goes for.
You say
Rashford.
Going with
Rashford?
No, I'm just arguing for Rashford, but I know Lissandro probably is the player of the season. But I'm just, I'll say Rashford. I'll just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everyone's got different then, because I've gone with Casemiro for player of the season. I know he's had his dips in forms and suspension stuff like that, but the impact that he's had on this midfield has been one of the biggest impacts in the Premier League, in my opinion, considering how much we needed a defensive midfielder in that position. I take all the things into account. I absolutely love Lisandro Martinez. Obviously, he got a big injury, so was out for a bit of a chunk as well. Rashford, I agree with all your points. You're all spot on.
I think Shaw deserves love, man, because honest to God,
Well,
that guy has
Yeah.
been nothing short of flawless, and he's played as a centre back for like how many games, and he was good at it. Like,
we need a show. We need another show for like an appreciation show for people like Shaw,
For Luke Shaw.
yeah,
Lindelof,
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka, like
appreciation, because
Luke Shaw's getting plenty of love from my girlfriend in the chat who's saying Luke Shaw. We're not saying who's the best looking.
we're not saying who we fancy. We're not saying who we fancy, Kaylee. We're saying who's the best player. But if I'm saying who I fancy as well, Lisandro also wins that award. So let's just put
best looker.
Yeah.
Best looker of the season, Lisandro.
I would.
Okay. Moving on.
Do you guys remember when someone had like the players like into girls, like they had like Van Dijk, Lingard.
Oh yeah. Do you remember Maguire's?
That's a go home ugly, that innit, Maguire?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
6 a.m. Anyway, we're getting proper sidetracked here. Like, we've got a few more that I want to do. Favorite moment? Oh, we've done that, haven't we? We just
Yeah.
Goal of the season. The goal of the season. Favorite moment.
Favorite moment.
Beating Liverpool. Because after those 2 terrible games against Brentford and Brighton, come to Old Trafford, I was cynical and pessimistic as fuck. I was like, we're getting battered. This is going to be terrible. I'm not going to enjoy this. Why am I watching this? This is going to be shit. And we won. And Lisandro bodied Mohamed Salah. Jadon Sancho sat down to Van Dijk and Milner, put a great goal away. Rashford with a top goal. Like, for me, absolutely loved it. And then obviously it took a little bit of shine off when we got battered 7-0. But that was my favourite moment.
Yeah, agreed. Do you agree with that, Shreyas?
Yeah. Or either Liverpool or the cup final we won, the Carabao Cup final.
Okay. Chive?
This is a close one. Either the Arsenal win or the.
I knew we'd pick the Arsenal. I knew it.
I'm not accepting any other answer now.
But no. But Rashford's winner against Man City when Garnacho spins Aki.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. And then plays it in, and then it's just like he scores this, which is like a typical number 9 goal.
Yeah.
And that was when people were like, okay, like these guys are serious. Like United are serious, because at that point I think we're just 3 points behind them.
Yeah. That was the whole title challenge thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was like, so people kind of took us serious then, because just if you think about that point and you look back at how we started the season, like it's miles. So yeah, those two probably were one of my favorite moments. Yeah.
You have to pick one, gun to your head.
Arsenal. He's picking Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal.
Yeah. Just
I'll take that.
Just enjoy it. Just enjoy the Arsenal.
Yeah.
The Arsenal one, definitely.
Yeah.
Hit the spot, didn't it, Chivy? It just hit the spot like here.
That full week, his blood pressure was the lowest you've ever seen it in its life.
Was your group chat just like mega quiet for that week, Chivy? Like,
Listen, this is what always happens. Like, it's always silent. The next day, everything is silent. And then even when we won against Chelsea, like not only the internet. Do you guys remember that? Like the next day, the internet was just quiet. Like the streets were silent. Yeah, birds chirping, man.
Shreyas has left the building, apparently. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Brian Casey saying City or Barca beating them. The camp at the new camp was something else from Shah Sam. Yeah, great shouts. Nick?
Yeah. Ten Hag dancing with Sandro and Anthony after we won the cup. Absolutely loved that moment. I was happy for all the players as well. Just walking up the stairs, watching them actually lift silverware after 5-6 years that we haven't seen for a while. So.
7 years.
Yeah. So it was nice to see that. This one, not great. Worst memory?
Liverpool.
Last 2 now.
Liverpool, 7-0 dicking. Like, it doesn't get any lower than that, does it really? That was Probably the worst moment this season. I don't like that moment, and I hate it. I hate every minute of it.
Oh, he's back. Electricity went.
He's back, our kid.
Yeah, that worst moment for you, Chive?
It has to be 7-0.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything worse.
Yeah.
The 6-3 was bad as well, wasn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, but City, I expected it. Like, City are like...
Yeah, we kind of expected that. But then the 7-0 one was, we actually...
Unexpected altogether.
We thought we were going to win. Like, we thought we'd get a result from there because we went in quite confident, even though we'd come off the FA Cup and all that stuff. But yeah, I think that was probably the lowest moment of the season.
I think De Gea's in Sevilla was pretty bad as well, wasn't it? To be fair, like,
God.
The West Ham moment was not good either, was it? That was
It's probably loads that we're forgetting, to be honest, off the top of our heads. Like, there's a few. Shreyas, what would you go for? And then we'll get on to the last one. Liverpool, yeah. I think that's fair to say. I think we'll have a full house on that, to be honest.
Everybody in the chat, Brian Casey losing 7-0 to Liverpool, Shah Sam, Liverpool. Yeah, everybody's not a fan.
Oh, God. We'll end it on a positive then. Rate Eric Ten Hag's first season, out of 10.
Me and Chivy had a debate about this, so I'll let Shreyas go first because me and Chivy might get into it here. Gray saying, most painful moment, Maguire every time he played.
Who said that?
Gray 100. Go on, Shreyas. Rate it out of 10.
Yeah, I think Eric Ten Hag deserves a 9 or even more than, because I think out of the players that he was given, practically, he started the season with no midfield. He's done wonders with this team. Like, he's completely shifted the philosophy. He's brought back players and, probably re-energized and brought, breathed life into their Manchester United careers as well. Like, no one expected Luke Shaw or Marcus Rashford to have the seasons that they've had. And the signings that he's made as well, the best thing has been that, he's not gone with signings that were his third choice or fourth choice. He's gone with, either you get me this or don't give me anything. And that's how we were able to sign players like Anthony or the players we signed like Lisandro Martinez. So for me, he's overachieved. And the fact that we made top 4 and we, got a trophy as well, playing in one game in every 3 days for almost 3 to 4 months and maintaining that kind of consistency, he deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, I mean, no one would have guessed that we're getting top 4 in a trophy. Just saying. Right, bear in mind we've been on for an hour and 10 minutes. So before you get into this, I'm not sitting here for 20 minutes back and forth. It's 7, it's 8. No.
Brian Casey saying 8, Shah Sam saying 8, Grey Warringer saying 9, well better than expected. So everybody's saying positive.
I'm going to say 8, and just to touch on what Shreya said, with the expectations, he came into the worst Man United side in a very long time. Was that history? Was that, yeah?
I would say.
Yeah, probably the worst dressing room.
In the Premier League, anyway.
Yeah, probably the worst dressing room environment that he had to come into. This is the end of the Pogba thing, and then he does the documentary. And then Ronaldo says he's staying, and then he's not staying, and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And to think about how we started. And as Shiraz mentioned, playing 3 games, playing every 3 days since 29th of December up until the end of the season, where we had like a week rest just twice, right? No other manager would have done what this guy did. I really don't care, like any other manager in the Prem right now. Because we've seen that happen to them and they folded. Arsenal lost 1 player and folded. Right, they lost Saliba
and they chucked they chucked in all their competitions as well to win the league. They were like, "Fuck all of these, let's just try." We
lost our centre back partnership. We lost our top striker for a lot of the time. Just to summarize, I think considering all of that and the expectations and the things he had to deal with, from Ronaldo to Maguire, the captain, to Mason Greenwood, to the club being sold and all of that, to come out 3rd place with a trophy. Come on, man. So 8 at the very least.
Thanks for keeping that short and sweet, Chive. Sam?
I agree with a lot of the points that that Chivy said. I think he's spot on pretty much every single one of them. The one issue I have this season is I think we could have absolutely smashed that Europa League had it not been for certain mistakes from David De Gea in the Sevilla games. I think if we beat Sevilla, who did they get next in the squad? Who were they in the
Juve.
Juve. I think we beat Juve because I think as a team they're not the same team that they once were. And
That's
then,
a discussion for another day. But,
and then who was the final? Sevilla and
Roma.
Roma.
I think Roma might have been tricky. Roma might be because Jose is you saw the game anyway. Well, it was just like a terrible fucking game because Jose was just set up not to lose. So I think the Europa League. But again, is that Ten Hag's fault because De Gea made mistakes? It's a tricky thing. It really is. I think if we'd gone far in the Europa League, I would have given him an 8. But because Europa League, we fucked up in both legs. We were in control of both legs and we fucked both of them up because of mistakes. So I think 7.5 for me out of 10. All the issues he's had to deal with, all the other stuff he's had to deal with, like Chibi said, ownership, Mason Greenwood, Ronaldo, injuries, etc. He's done phenomenally well. And I don't think there's another manager that has had to cope with the shit he's had to cope with. So 7.5 for me.
Yeah, I just Shreyas had to go because electric was going and something like that.
Yeah,
so
I've switched over to thinking now. So
no worries. Agree with both what you said. It's been nice, refreshing having a manager come in, who's everything you touched on. I mean, having Vegas, Ronaldo, Martial, who scored a combined like 7 league goals. And finishing third, you've got the fixture schedule, which is just outrageous.
No
the
striker.
Situation,
no striker.
Ronaldo, no strike. Like all the variables considered, it's got to be an 8 out of 10 for me. I think he's done unbelievable. I'm excited for next season. Hopefully, the ownership situation can be sorted. But we've been saying that for months. We want that to be sorted ASAP. The transfers, we actually start getting our first tier targets. Nice. It's refreshing to see us looking at Plan B options as well, so we can go instantly to that. So yeah, if we have a good transfer window, there's no reason why we can't have a successful season next season, and hopefully we'll be more happier with another trophy. And who knows what happens next season? But yeah, gone on for a little bit longer than I anticipated. But I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you do smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel, become a Real Red Ultra as well. 1 spot left on the membership if you want exclusive content every Monday, a badge next to your name, and a chance to feature on the show. Click the join button next to the notification bell. And yeah, we're all into Milan tonight, aren't we, lads?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Forza Internazionale. Let's have it. Hopefully they don't do the treble, but yeah, I'm sure we'll be discussing it on the next show. Keep an eye out. If anything goes live about the ownership again, we'll go live for it. And yeah, we hope you've all enjoyed the show. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely weekend. Yeah. And thanks to the lads for coming on.
Leave in the comments. Let us know all the awards we've done. Let us know your awards, who you'd award it to. You can put that in the comments. Also, thank you to everybody who's watched us this season. The growth of the channel this season has been nothing short of ridiculous. Like you said, what did we have before when we started, Nick?
324 subs.
And now we're on 2,060. So I think we're growing slowly. We've had some amazing guests on this season. Laurie Whitwell, Jay Motti, Jonathan Schrager, James from the Muppeteers. All good stuff like that. So, and we're going to have more people on. It's going to get better. Mm-hmm. It's going to grow. You're going to see so much more things. So please come with us on the journey, man. Like, it's been enjoyable this season, so please keep your support because we appreciate it. We really do.
Yeah, man. Cheers for coming on, Chevy.
Thanks. And yeah, shout out to Brian Casey, Shah Sam, like the regulars. Like, you guys are amazing every single time, like, coming on. So yeah.
Absolutely. Have a lovely weekend, guys. Enjoy the weather, and let's hope Inter Milan do it tonight. Fingers crossed. I'm not going to hold my breath though. See you in a bit.
Peace.